got stuff to do, don't you?
Hey, welcome to our first mock draft of the NFL. Seriously, Rosso, you nailed it on the head when I heard audio before you couldn't hear me, or Vasco, I can't remember which one said it. This is exactly how bad the NFL draft is going to go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know.
You don't know? All right.
Everybody at the NFL has to be immensely smarter than me when it comes to technology. So
They're not.
Oh, God.
They're absolutely not. All right.
Well, hello, Quad City Hasslers. As you can see, Jay's been working hard to get us going. We have our friends Dan Vasco and Adam Rosso from WHBF. And Vasco, what's your new station again?
WSPA.
Down in
South Carolina.
There you go. Landed on his feet, but love having him back on the show. These two are, if you all have been followers, these two have been supporters of ours for a long time, since we pretty much started going in the bar back in the old days. So it's good to have friends in the sports world, and couldn't think of two better guys to have with us to do a mock first-round draft. So thanks, boys.
Let's do it. You bet. I'm ready.
Really excited.
So Jay kind of, this was his brainstorm. And what we decided to do out there, Hasslers, is each one of us took two divisions. I have the NFC East and the AFC West. Rosso, you have?
I have the NFC North and the AFC East.
Dan?
AFC North and NFC South.
And Jay Bird?
The NFC West, AFC South.
What we're going to try to do, everyone, is we're going to go by order, draft order. Some of us are going to give any trade predictions that we possibly have. We're going to try to keep it realistic, as in I'm not going to give the Cowboys the top 5 picks, and Vasco is not going to give the Steelers the top 5 picks. So we're going to be realistic with this and go with the teams and be smart if we were GMs for these teams and what they think we should do. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. At pick 1, Dan, you have the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't think there's any surprise here, right?
Vasco's on the clock.
No, not many surprises. So we're going to keep it realistic. So got to go with Joe Burrow, quarterback LSU, first pick, the Ohio boy going back home. And, I think everyone's pretty much expecting this. It would be quite a shocker if Cincinnati traded this one away. So that's where we stand.
Hey, I just want to say, good pick.
Thanks, man. Yeah. There's a lot that
if Tua is 100% healthy, is this more of a discussion or not even?
I think so.
I think if Tua is 100% healthy, it is.
I still think Tua might be the better prospect down the road overall. But if we're talking about, right now, it makes sense, injury concerns, and he's an Ohio boy. It seems like Cincinnati for sure is going to pull the trigger on him. But yeah, I think there definitely would be a discussion for sure. I mean, Tua's, quite the he's really polished for, still how young he is.
I think they both have a lot of pocket presence, escapability. Obviously, I think Tua's got a little bit more on the wheels side of it, but I still was pretty impressed with what I saw out of Burrow throughout the season. So, but yeah, a solid number 1, and I think he's got a great future, obviously. So
yeah, a lot of pressure on him too. To try and resurrect a franchise. It's tough to do in Cincinnati, especially, but
I mean, resurrect. I mean, that franchise ever had a pulse? I mean, let's be honest here. They made it a couple Super Bowls, but
not since the '80s.
Yeah, exactly. So
and drove Carson Palmer out of there, and Carson Palmer, ended up having some good years still left in him. So
right. Well, yeah, there was a time when your Steelers destroyed all hopes in that city one playoff day.
yeah.
There's no doubt about that. At pick number 2, that's me. I'm picking for the Washington Redskins, and much like the Joe Burrow pick, this is a no-brainer. They're going with Chase Young, defensive end out of Ohio State, and everybody knows this guy's a stud. Woulda, coulda, shoulda been playing for a national title. Ohio State choked down the line there against Clemson, but it is what it is. But this kid's a unique talent, and defensive ends and pass rushers are valuable in this league. So that's where he's going.
They got quite the D-line shaping up, too.
I was going to say, that's going to be that's going to be a tough. You got some young quarterbacks, primarily Daniel Jones, who's going to have to face that for to start off his career. That Washington's got some good things going defensively for sure.
Yeah, I think if Washington can start putting a few things together, that's going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah.
As a Cowboy fan, I don't want to see it, but yeah, you're absolutely right, you guys. I think Scary Terry McLaurin at the wideout last year, it was a really good rookie. Unfortunately, Darius Geis just hasn't been able to stay off the injuries. Let's see what happens with Haskins if he can mature down the line, but that's where it's really going to lie. I mean, they're going to have a good defense, but if they can't score the football or keep turning it over, it's not going to help that defense one bit.
Yeah, I think Rivera's a good coach. They haven't had a coach that with a backbone in a while. So since probably Shanahan was there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think there'll be a change there, so we'll definitely see. At 3, I believe that's you, Jay.
No, it's me.
No.
Detroit. I mean, this is kind of the first real swing pick of the draft of the night. I don't think Detroit wants to stay at 3. I think guys like Jeff Okudah, Derek Brown, even the Kinlaw kid from South Carolina down in your neck of the woods, Dan, I think they're all in play. But my question as far as trading down with whether it's Miami or the Chargers is why would the Chargers or the Dolphins trade? I said this on the radio today. Like,
right.
The Lions and the Giants aren't taking a quarterback.
And this is what I kind of said to you, like on the phone earlier today when we were on the show. The only reason I can see is that they're both afraid that the other is going to take the quarterback they want.
Sure.
So obviously the Chargers are behind Miami. If Miami wants Tua really, or if Chargers want Tua really bad, they're going to want to trade up to Detroit. Or in Miami's eyes, they know the Chargers are going to try to trade up, so they're going to go out and get ahead of them and trade up so that they can still get Tua. Now the other thing we hear is Miami likes Herbert. Now is this smoke? Listen, I guys, I don't see it with Herbert. I see a strong arm, but I see lack of accuracy and everything else on his stats.
If you're talking between those two, I don't see how it's even the discussion, to be honest. But
right,
there apparently is. So
I think it's smoke, but if there is a trade, Ross, so it's definitely going to be the Detroit pick to one of those two teams, unless there's some sort of miracle thing going on underneath, where. Like let's say New England pulls off what the Eagles did a couple years back and make 2 trades to get up further.
I just don't see a team doing that. I mean, it would have to be a team with a couple picks to package.
Right.
I don't know. I don't see it. I think Detroit wants to trade down. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be able to. And so now it comes down to Okudah or one of the defensive linemen. And for me, just looking back, Bob Quinn's their general manager, obviously a Patriots guy. Patricia's a Patriots guy. I don't think they value rookie corners. I think the corners that New England has brought in has been free agent guys or guys that they've developed. So the pick here for me is going to be Derek Brown from Auburn, going to be the man in the middle of that 3-4 for a long time. Similar to Vince Wilfork, I think he's got that type of potential. And I think Patricia, they need somebody like that to anchor their front. So I think that's where they're going to go. I think they bypass Okudah and they go with the defensive tackle from Auburn.
I like where your head's at. I have down for their top 3 needs: cornerback, defensive line, and O-line. So, yeah, I kind of like where your head's at, kind of going back to what New England does. So that definitely will open up some stuff down the line for everyone else.
I just don't think, I know Denzel Ward went, 4th last year, and Ramsey went 5th a few years back, but you got to be transcendent to be a pick, and it's not like Detroit doesn't have other needs, like you're saying, defensive tackle being one of the top ones. So I think they got to get better up front before they worry about anything secondary and kind of build it that way.
Okay, I'm at pick 4 here with the New York Giants. Listen, there's a lot of trade rumors going on here, guys, basically with the Giants. I mean, the rumors galore that they're going to, if you go onto their websites, they're trading away this pick, or they're doing this or doing that. I know Jay's best buddy, Clemson Carl, is just wanting him to take Isaiah Simmons here with everything in his heart. But here's the bottom line. If the New York Giants want to be successful, they have to protect Danny Dimes. And they have to open holes for Saquon Barkley. That is it, period. You guys, we all know that it boils down to that. I mean, they have one of the best backs in the league. and there is not a better offensive tackle in this draft than Tristan Wirfs. We get to see him. I mean, his stuff at the combine alone was freakish. I hate to say that he's going to be playing against my team, for 2 games a year for the next 10 years, but I think he is. This kid's special. I really, and he's an Iowa kid, so we know what kind of heart and character he has. I just think if the Giants are smart, they're sticking with Wirfs here.
You were down to Simmons and Wirfs. That's kind of where you.
Yeah, I was down to Simmons and Wirfs, and look, listen, Simmons, you guys is a freak. I get it, but at the end of the day, I think Wirfs helps them win more football games than Simmons. Just my thought. AFC East, Miami Dolphins.
I agree. You have a quarterback.
I mean, this is you touched on it before, Dan. Like, is there smoke with this Herbert stuff? I went back and forth a couple days ago. I wrote down it's got to be Tua. I think I talked to you guys on the radio. Said you're picking between those two. Don't you go with Tua? But I don't know how this many experts, when you read it, are now thinking it's going to be Herbert without it being Herbert. I don't know. This one's baffled me the last couple days. But I think what we talked about, I think on the radio today, and what you said is the accuracy concerns. And I don't know that necessarily Miami needs to draft a quarterback just to take one. I think they want somebody that could be transcendent, and I think that's Tua. So that's where I'm going. I think I'm going to go with Tua there. You're drafting for not this year. I get that, but I just don't think you go with a safe pick if you've been trying to line up and get a quarterback, a franchise guy. Maybe they think Herbert's that guy, and all this smoke is going to be for Herbert at 5, but I think it's Tua for me, and just from what they've tried to build to this draft, I think that's where they're going to go.
Yeah, I think, and I got the Chargers pick here, the very next pick. You guys, I looked at this a couple different ways on how they could trade up. I feel that the Chargers want Tua. I think they're going to trade up to 3 here. This is my thought. I think they trade up to 3 and they somehow give Detroit their 4th round pick or their 3rd round pick on top of it. Okay, helps Detroit cover what they need in their defensive backfield. I think they trade up for Tua. Now, if they don't, their choice now is then between Herbert and Simmons. I think they go with, if that's the case and they don't make the trade, or if the trade can't be done, I think they go with Simmons. Think about when they had, oh man, I can't even think. The kid from San Diego, the kid from Oceanside, the guy from Oceanside who ended up taking his own life. Losing my mind here.
Seau?
What's that?
Junior Seau?
Yeah, Junior Seau. Gee, I couldn't think of the name. That's what I think. If they can't get Tua here, they take Isaiah Simmons. He's the next Junior Seau on that team, and then they wait and they hold out for next year and they try to get the hippie from Clemson. But I think they want Tua bad.
So what you're saying here is either Miami or the Chargers are trading up to 3.
Not, they take Simmons.
Why didn't you negotiate this with Rossa when he was at the 3?
Well, I didn't know that's how we were doing it.
Yeah, you can do that, yeah.
Well, I didn't. Yeah.
I honestly, you could have traded with yourself, T-Roy, because I think that you might hit it on the head. The only way Detroit gets offers is if the other team, like if Miami thinks the Chargers are going to try to trade to 3, vice versa. I feel like that if Miami's sitting tight, then the Chargers could trade with the Giants and be just fine.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If the Chargers trade with the Giants, they could offer them the same thing, and that would give New York. New York could definitely use another 3rd or 4th round pick because the majority of New York's picks are all in the 7th round. They have 4 7th round picks, so it'd be a situation where New York could turn around and say, "Okay, we'll give you our first for your first, but you give us your third, and we'll give you a fourth or a fifth round, something like that. But yeah.
Jay, did you ever find the over/under on first-round trades?
No, I didn't.
No, I did not. So I would assume it's. I don't know the over/under on first-round trades of this year, of the mock draft this year. I mean, the prop bets. But I feel good at 3.5. That seems like a lot, though. Because we said on the air, I don't think there's going to be that many trades.
You're probably right.
Not in the first round, or just to get out of it. I'm looking at teams later that maybe they don't. There's no worry about it, because they're just going to stockpile for next year. But there's a lot that have needs, and that's what I'm staring at.
All right, Vasco.
The thing is, Miami has a lot of firepower because they have 3 picks in the first round. I mean, they could do a lot if they wanted to.
Yeah,
there's a lot of options for them, but yeah. All right, so number 7. We'll come to the Panthers. This will be my first year covering the Carolinas. So this is interesting. Kind of have a lot of needs. I mean, obviously the sudden retirement of Luke Kuechly left a void in that linebacking core. That's a group that's gotten relatively older over the years. They could use help on the defensive line, but offensive line too. And with offensive line being such a premium early in this draft, there's more depth at some of these other positions throughout the draft. But really, if you want to tackle, you got to get one in the first round. So with that, I think Carolina's going to go after one. They're going to grab Jedrick Wills, in my opinion, the next best offensive tackle available here out of Alabama. So kind of throw up that offensive line. Ground game going pretty much, but they're going to want some protection there. At the quarterback position, and it doesn't ever hurt to shore up offensive line when you got someone that's almost going to be a surefire all-pro like Wirfs or like Wills, some of these other tackles. So I think that fills a big need for the Panthers, and they'll be happy to take an offensive tackle at 7.
All right, who's got the Cardinals?
Me.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's right. Does anybody want to trade up to 8?
No.
Anybody? No. The Raiders don't want to trade up to 8.
I mean, honestly, right now, with this draft, I would say the Falcons to get a corner. I mean, if Akuta's there at 8,
yeah,
that's kind of where I would think that would start getting in there. Like anybody that needs a corner, whether it's Philly, Atlanta, those teams, I feel like think about it.
The thing is, just so much. Yeah, what you mean? The Cowboys don't want to trade up if you need a cornerback. You're right. Minnesota should get in there.
I'll tell you right now, if Akuta's there at 8, Dallas is probably going to try to make a trade for Akuta.
The thing is I'm not looking at like second round or picks in 2021, but this is where you can stockpile some some picks later. In that case,
4th and a 6th or something on top of your first.
Yeah, I think Arizona can trade back actually and get some more picks here because they need a line. There's plenty of guys for that.
Well,
but they also need the defense.
At this point, don't you think that they're looking at a guy like Mekhi Becton?
I understand that, but I'm just saying you can also trade back. There's enough offensive tackles out there. They need defense too. I would have taken Simmons here at this pick. I don't know if I don't think he's going to go as early as you have it because the Chargers are going to go for a quarterback. But that's my own opinion. You drafted for him, so yeah.
Hear me.
What?
Oh, sorry, it froze on me, so I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me or not.
Yeah. No, Jay, you're absolutely right. If the Chargers end up taking Herbert there, and Simmons falls, first of all, if Simmons falls, Carolina's taking Simmons. That's my thought. But
for sure, yeah, that's who I had them taking. Yeah. You grabbed them right before. Yeah, that's for sure their top guy if he's there.
Right, but Jay,
But Jay, I mean, I have Atlanta. Like I could see Atlanta.
I think Atlanta is the team that I think would go up and get him.
They would want to get Okuda, like they, you know.
It's funny. I have a Falcon expert here right now as we speak.
Is that right?
Falcons trading up at 8 if they could get Okuda. Trading up to 8. He says it's for sure.
It's for sure. Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, we're doing it.
All right, so that's me and you.
Right,
there you go.
We'll give up. Atlanta will give up its first round and a 5th and 6th round in addition.
Is that enough? You got the trade value thing on there? Let me pull it up here.
Well, Jason,
I mean, to
gonna make
the
the trade.
Yeah, he said, eh.
No, I
to
want
move
to
up
make a
8
trade.
spots.
But the thing is that I just feel like it's more valuable next year. That's what I was talking to Rosso about.
Okay, well, we'll give you next year's
second round.
This year's first and next year's second round. All right, we'll do it.
Yeah, all right, that's a deal. All right, so you get traded up to the 8, and now I fall to 16.
Right, and then we'll take a look out there. Man, do they desperately need that?
Well, they're going to
hate. Then I got Jacksonville
because Tom Brady's going to be throwing all over the field. But you guys, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I mean the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just
be an easy picture for
the Buccaneers are my favorite to win the NFC Championship right now.
Oh, shut up.
So Jay, just so I have it, Jay, the Cardinals have acquired a 2021 second round pick from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I've got that written down. I just want to make sure when I got the documentation. Okay.
All right. Then I'm on the clock for Jacksonville.
Yes.
And we're going to take a defensive tackle, Derek Brown.
He's gone.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's one of the number 3 to trade.
He actually was the anchor.
Murphy. Look at this. I'm already ruining this.
Wow.
Come on, Huggy Bear. I didn't know Huggy Bear was
the internet. It was the internet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, so who went at 7?
Jedrick Wills.
All right, good. Then I'll take Javon Kinlaw.
Okay.
Defensive tackle, South Carolina.
Yeah. I like that. They're going to lose what's-his-face who's tweeting at the owner's son or the co-owner.
That's always good.
He's good as gone.
All right, well, I got out of that. Cleveland's up.
Okay.
Cleveland's up, and
I want to make a trade, Cleveland. I'm the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, Cleveland.
So you're looking at,
I'm going to give you.
yeah.
I'm going to give you my first round, which is the 12th overall pick, for the 10th pick, plus a third round pick at number 81.
No, I honestly, I just don't. Cleveland's not going to give up a spot here to take a gamble. I just don't. I don't see it because. Let's see. You're saying that.
I'm giving you all you do is you're falling back 2 spots, and I'm giving you a third round pick this year, the 81st pick. I'll give you the. You know what? I'll give you the 80th pick. I got the 80th, 81st, and 91st. I'll give you the 80th pick for this spot.
And your first rounders, or you're just giving a third round?
You give me I give you my 12th overall and one of my third rounders for your first round pick, that are your number 10 pick.
You really want Becton, huh? That bad, huh?
No, that's not who I'm taking.
He's taking Herbert. He wants to pull the trigger on a quarterback.
All right, we'll do it because one of these guys is going to fall anyway, and I think they'd be fine with either one. So
I do think Cleveland's one that would look to move back. I agree with you guys on that one.
You taking it with me?
Yep.
Okay. They are not taking Herbert. They're taking their boy CeeDee Lamb. They want CeeDee Lamb bad. This is obviously they need it. They need a number 1 receiver. They have another pick in the first round. They have the 19th. as well. They're going to see what falls to him there. But they're taking CeeDee Lamb.
Man,
Now, pick number 90.
Lamb ahead of Judy, yeah.
Yeah, I gave him pick 80. I gave him my third-round pick.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb, the first receiver off the board. You think they want him over Judy or Ruggs, huh?
Yes. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to prove to be the best receiver in this class.
They're all so good. You know,
pick your poison. The thing with this is the receivers class is so deep, though. That's the only thing I'd say. If they were trading up to get a receiver.
Yeah, but I agree with that, but the top receivers are that much better.
Yeah. When the top receivers are that much better, and I think the Jets are going receiver here.
Well, and you only got to give a 3. You only got to give up a 3. It's not like you're giving up a second or first round pick to go a couple spots.
Right.
At this point, I thought that at least one more tackle would be off the board. But there hasn't been.
It would have if Cleveland didn't trade. If Cleveland didn't trade, it would have.
So I would agree with you that yes, I thought this was going to be receiver because I actually think there's a gap with Becton because of some of the A, weight issues, and B, maybe some off the field stuff. I don't know. New York might not be the best place for him, basically, is what I'm saying. But I'm going to look at Andrew Thomas from Georgia. I think he was actually 1 or 2 at tackle going into the season.
Yeah.
A proven program, Georgia. He playing in the SEC. I think Thomas
he's the better tackle.
Pick here from Georgia. Yep, Andrew Thomas from Georgia to the Jets.
Sounds good. All right, Vasco, you got Cleveland on the clock.
Yeah, I think Cleveland's on the clock, and then
you cut out there, buddy.
I think you got to show up that offensive line. They got to find a way to keep your. What's that?
Hold on, you're frozen. Stand by.
Sorry, we cut it out. But yeah, Cleveland needs to protect Baker. They gotta get help. I mean, defensively they're pretty stacked. Outside of linebacker, they really don't have too many needs there. Offensively, biggest needs on the O line. So get a surefire tackle. They'll help them out a ton. So easy choice for Cleveland here.
Who'd you go with?
Becton. One with Becton. Yeah. He'll be dealing with TJ.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I agree with you there. That's a smart pick for them there. We got San Francisco on the clock. Jay Foster. Can't hear you, bud.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I muted myself. Turn it off.
Your phone again?
Yeah.
Turn the phone audio off.
What did we tell you?
Can you hear me?
If you turn it off, we didn't hear what you said. It was just.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
How we can?
Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver.
You're staying. This is a prime trade back candidate. I feel like.
No one offered anything. So I guess I was on mute too.
I will say, I was thinking about with the Packers, they need receivers, but I don't know that San Francisco and Green Bay NFC Championship game. I don't know if they do business. Like that's a direct competitor, right? Like the Packers are built to win now, and so are the Niners. I don't know if they'd facilitate that.
Yeah.
All right.
Second wideout off the board.
Yeah. Tampa Bay. Tampa Brady.
Interesting spot for Tampa because they want to get a good tackle. Obviously, basically the top tiers off the board of tackles, but not that far removed is Austin Jackson. But I think is a quality offensive lineman too. And really, I mean, they could use a linebacker, another linebacker, or someone off the edge. But I think with Tom Brady coming to town, wanting to make sure this offense runs as efficiently as possible, and you got a pocket quarterback, you're going to have to get a lineman in there. So Austin Jackson, USC, steps in to be their day one starter. And, yeah, I think they'll take that, get some offensive line help right off the bat, even though maybe it's a little bit of a reach. But at this point, they kind of have to go for need, and that's a big one.
They're another one.
You don't think Josh Jones?
What's that?
You don't think possibly Josh Jones here, Dan?
No, I don't. I think Josh Jones is a good tackle. Austin Jackson, their overall prospect in him. I could be wrong. I mean, and a lot of what I used to go by is Gil Brand, because he's usually super on par with his top 50s. I think his success rate's like 85% of his top 50 go top 50. And you know, just as an outside, he has just way ahead of like 15. So, and you know, Jackson's a junior. He had good measurables. He did 27 lifts, was pretty solid. And I don't know, he'll be. And he's got bloodlines too. His grandpa played in the Packers, so it's one of those organizations that loves themselves bloodlines, kind of like the old school franchise. It's a good fit for them. And, you know, with a lot of these, you probably can't go wrong picking either one, but I just think I trust Brandt's assessment there with Jackson.
All right, well, moving on then to Denver. I got the Broncos. This guy is everything they need. Listen, they need wideout, they need offensive line help, and they need help in the secondary. But they're taking Henry Ruggs the third here, man. That speed to go along with Cortland Sutton, and if Drew Lock ends up being the quarterback that he kind of showed flashes of at the end of last year, maybe Elway's got something going in Denver. But I do like what I see out of the Broncos. Obviously, running game is going to be solid. They have two great backs. Actually, they have three great backs. I don't know what happened. The kid they got from Georgia, right? Or no, not Georgia. Who did they have in there, you guys? Other than the little bitty dude,
Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman.
Royce Freeman.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they did with Freeman, but obviously the addition of oh shoot, I'm losing my brain here, drinking too much wine. But you know what I'm talking about. The guy they got from the Chargers.
They got Malcolm, yeah.
Is what I'm getting at. Their running game's taken care of. I think they take the white out here because Ruggs just is a burner. He's fast. All right, 16, Jay Foster, you're on the clock.
I need a recap. Who went to 7?
All right, I got it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Mid-round recap. Joe Burrow to Cincinnati at 1. Chase Young to Washington at 2. Derek Brown to Detroit at 3. Tristan Wirfs to the Giants at 4. Tua Tagovailoa to Miami at 5. Isaiah Simmons to the Chargers at 6. Dedrick Wills to the Panthers at 7. Jeff Okudah to Atlanta via a trade with this pick at 16 with Arizona. Jacksonville took Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina at 9. We had another trade at 10. The Raiders traded up to take C.D. Lamb. 11, Andrew Thomas to the Jets. 12, the Browns via the trade took Mekhi Becton. 13, Jerry Jeudy to the Niners. 14, Austin Jackson to the Bucks. 15, Henry Ruggs to the Broncos.
Okay. Need that's what was missing at. It was Becton went. Looking for some protection.
Yeah, there's still some good offensive linemen out there, by the way.
But I kind of feel like Arizona might need to start. Well, it's not like they're going to care about defense. So we got to get an offensive tackle here. Well, we'll take Joshua Jones.
Good call.
Offensive tackle at the 16. Get some protection for that air raid offense.
Tackles in the top 16, right?
Yeah.
All right. 17th.
17th pick, guys. A lot of rumors going on here with Dallas. This might be a situation where they trade down, but I don't think so. I think they're going to try to trade up and get something later on. Actually, I'm going to announce this trade right now since I get to approve it. Dallas is going to trade their second and both of their 5th-round picks to Kansas City for the 32nd pick.
So they're sticking at 17, though, you're saying?
Sticking at 17. Listen, they can go all over the place here. There's a lot of talk right now that they like the Gross kid out of Penn State. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to stick with maybe trying to get something else further down the line there, possibly. I have them taking a safety there, and as far as we've gone, and this guy's still available, they are going to C.J. Henderson out of Florida.
Okay,
at cornerback.
So, did you make a trade or not?
I did, but I traded it for the 32nd pick.
So they traded down, and then the Kansas City came in.
No.
Oh, they announced.
I announced the trade, so you guys already know it's coming.
Wheeling and dealing.
Nice.
Wheeling and dealing.
All right.
But yeah, they're if C.J. Henderson is available at 17, you guys are all over that at corner. I had Henderson in my mock draft. I had Henderson going fairly early. I had him going to Jacksonville at that point, but
yeah, I mean he's the second best corner, no question.
But obviously, we had some stuff going on in here. But like I said, if Henderson falls to 17, he's gonna be a Cowboy. So that'll wrap up 17. Let's see, 18 is the Dolphins.
I had all of those tackles. Well, the other two, Jackson and Jones, were big-time candidates here because if they draft Tua, you'd think they're going to go O-line. I don't think they need to go O-line here. The interesting thing is I think they can still afford to go best available. For me, it's kind of looking between – I mean, here's a position, too. They could have waited and taken Herbert here, right? I mean, in our draft.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't know, I guess, where their need is. They got a lot of defensive free agents, whether it's Byron Jones, Kyle Van Noy. I think this is a prime trade back again if somebody really coveted a quarterback, whether it was somebody like the Saints coming up here and taking Jordan Love or Herbert, or somebody like that in the back half. Because I think at this point, if Herbert's still there, somebody's making a move. I really do. This is about his reward for me.
So I have New Orleans at 24. So I think that would be something of interest at that point. If they have the two quarterbacks there, that's pretty so if the Saints, how many? That'd be moving up 6 spots to trade into there. I mean, Miami's got all the leverage in this situation, but if you would want to, swap firsts here, and New Orleans gives you a 6th rounder and then a 4th rounder next year.
Let's see, 18 to 24. How about a 3rd and a 6th?
This year?
Well, for our purposes, it doesn't matter, but a 3rd, let's say a 3rd 6 this year, 3rd next year.
6 this year, 3rd next year. Yeah, that works. And then you'll take Sean Payton as well off the hands. Yeah, no, that works for me. So New Orleans will jump into here. Honestly, I don't know if they would. I didn't anticipate a quarterback falling to them, so I really consider a quarterback right off the bat. I kind of feel like they would want someone more like Jordan Love than they would a Herbert, as crazy as that may sound. It seems like he would be a better fit for them. So I'm gonna do it.
Go for it.
Jordan Love. Herbert's fun.
Nice wheeling and dealing.
Interesting.
Well, my Raiders with their second pick, and it fell right in their lap. They wanted this guy all along. They're taking Justin Herbert.
Okay, I was going to say they're not passing up on him again, so you better take him.
No, they got it. And by the way, hey, they got the quarterback guru, right? In our boy Chucky. So let's see. I like it. I like if Herbert proves if he can get accurate. He's got the coach to help him out. He's got a receiver now in CeeDee Lamb. They obviously got the running game. And was it Josh Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, things are looking up in Vegas, baby.
I feel like honestly, if we're looking at,
I really don't think they're going to go after a quarterback. I think he likes Derek Carr.
I mean, that's a gift though. At 19,
here's the deal: you can still keep Derek Carr and get Herbert back there until he gets some of these things figured out. I think they're taking him here.
I really think though, Dan and Troy, and Jay, I guess. Foster, you mute your phone again. We can't hear you ever.
No, you can hear me.
There you go. All right, we're good.
I'm here. I'm just
I think
trying to pour a drink. Yeah.
I think Herbert goes to somebody who trades up with either San Francisco or Tampa Bay at 13 or 14. I think that's to me where, especially Tampa, because I think if they could get Austin Jackson later or a tackle like we talked about, if they bump down to 21, 19, 20, whatever, in the high 20s, I still think they probably can get Austin Jackson. So I would.
It depends, though. I mean, because based on what obviously this is just what we've been doing, but based on our draft, the tackles have kind of gone off the board, and there's been a lot of need for them. So it's, how much trust do you put in that? I mean, I guess there's other tackles too. There's Ezra Cleveland and some other guys that I guess they probably would be fine taking late too. So, yeah, I guess that is a possibility for sure.
That's kind of my wheelhouse. Even with Tua, if Tua's not the pick at 5 and Herbert is, I think that 13, probably 12, 13, 14 range is the prime area for somebody to jump up. I mean, who knows? It could be a team like the Packers. I don't know. You don't know what, they got to get a quarterback eventually. Maybe they really like one of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacksonville at 20.
Who did you guys end up trading it together at 18?
Miami and New Orleans swapped.
Okay. And Love went to New Orleans.
Love went to New
Herbert
Orleans.
went to the Raiders.
Yeah, I got that.
And now Jacksonville's screwed. Because where's their quarterback now?
What?
Hey, man,
Gardner Minshew.
They got Gardner Minshew. They don't need anything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. They wouldn't have traded away Bulls if they didn't think that was the future. We're building a defensive identity here down in Jacksonville. We're bringing back Saxonville. We'll take Caleb on Chasen.
There we go.
That's a good pick. I think
Saxonville's back.
That's a steal to get him there, and they needed
Caleb on Chasen.
Yep.
Okay.
At 21, Philadelphia.
Okay, guys. Eagles. There's one thing that I can tell you this for sure that the Eagles need, and it is help at wide out. It's help at receiving. Carson Wentz has no one to throw to at the end of last year. You guys saw that, obviously decimated with injuries, but a lot of that is even at the end of the day. No one, there's not a secondary scared of that receiving core, right? That's my thoughts. I think here it's pretty easy. I think they take the wide out from LSU, Justin Jefferson.
Okay. We go back to back LSU.
All right. Vikings are on the clock.
Ooh.
Yeah, two of the next 4, right?
Yeah, 2 in the next 4. This pick they got from Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean Jefferson was the guy I was obviously going to go with here too. They actually, if they jockey there, maybe they like him. Maybe they bump up in front of the Eagles, knowing the Eagles need receivers too. But
there's still some receivers out there, though.
The weird thing for me with the Vikings is they have to get a corner, but I don't know if any of these corners are worth taking at 22 or 25.
Well, that's the deal, right? I mean, you got you still have Trayvon Diggs out there. There's Christian Fulton, Gladney's out there, and oh shoot, I'm losing my train of thought here. The kid from LSU, or not LSU, or Jalen Johnson. There's some guys, but yeah, are they good?
They could probably grab them at 25, right? So like here, you'd probably want to go after like a lineman or something again.
Yeah, and there again, I don't know if there's linemen that they are going to say. It almost feels like to me they might go. You know, they lost Everson Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
Zimmer loves defensive guys, whether it's corner line. I don't know if this is the way it falls. I honestly feel like they might go with the Blacklock kid from TCU to get a defensive lineman. I know they signed Michael Pierce from Baltimore. They lost the guy that went to the Chargers, Linval Joseph. You know, they need help up front. If they're set anywhere on defense, it's linebacker. So I don't think Kenneth Murray or the Queen kid are really options. So at least for this one, I'm gonna go with what's his name, Ross Blacklock from TCU.
That's a nice call.
That makes sense, though.
And then you're still up, Ross. So you got your New England Patriots.
My New England Patriots. Well, I just was talking about the two guys I feel like they're going to be down between. Since Chase Young already was picked, I think this is between Murray and Patrick Queen.
Yep.
New England likes linebackers that can run the defense. This is tough for me. And I guess the coin flip I saw Kenneth Murray in spandex and a cutoff shirt at the combine, and he looks the part. So I'm going to go Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma to the Patriots.
There you go.
That's a good call. I had him down as as really the best linebacker or second best linebacker after Simmons.
I got 2 more here because of our trade, huh? Wow.
Yeah, because of your trade, you got.
I got 3 more actually.
Yeah,
Miami,
you got 3 more.
Miami.
You got Miami, then Minnesota, and then Miami. So,
Glad everybody's dialed in.
it's a good thing you got the voice of an angel.
So I was saying Miami. Well, here's the deal: Miami and Minnesota probably both need linemen at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's still got to be the play for Miami. And I don't think they want the Vikings to swoop in and take one of their guys. So to me, it's down to probably Ezra Cleveland and Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah, Isaiah Wilson's solid.
Boy, I don't it's 6-1, half dozen the other probably, I guess. Let's see. Well, this is a tough one. I don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll. I don't know. Is that what you guys think? This is a tougher one for me because they got.
I would go offensive line. I mean.
Yeah, I would go Isaiah Wilson if I'm the Dolphins here.
What about the only other one I would maybe consider would be McKinney, because he's a kind of piece in that secondary. But just a couple years ago, McKinney drafting an Alabama back in Fitzpatrick, and it didn't work out. So I feel like they shot. I think I'm going to go with Isaiah Wilson. I agree. I'm going to go Isaiah Wilson from Georgia.
All right, so that went to Miami at 24, and now you got Minnesota at 25. Still a lot of corners left, safeties left. What do you think?
Here again, I think they can get a corner by trading back. If they even trading out of the first round, probably they want. But I think from what I've been hearing, they really like that Johnson kid from Utah. It's probably going to be between him and the AJ Terrell from Clemson. They're both big. They're both physical corners. That's kind of what Zimmer likes. I'm going to go with the Johnson kid just because they drafted Mackenzie Alexander a few years back from Clemson. He didn't pan out. So let's go. We'll go Jalen Johnson from Utah for the Vikings' second pick there. And then one more here on the.
Yeah, you got the Dolphins. Curious where you're going to go here with this one. I have my thoughts on what Miami needs.
You know, so they got their linemen to protect Tua. They got Tua. They probably could use a receiver, but they're going to have another pick early in the second round. I think they're going to go with pure talent here. We kind of talked about this before we went live. I think they're going to go Gross Matos from Penn State. I think they bolstered that part, but you can't have too many pieces that can get to the quarterback. So I think Gross Matos is the guy at 26.
Do you think they need running back?
Yeah, but there again, I think they can get Swift or Taylor or J.K. Dobbins in that second round. I don't think that running back to me is more of a versatile kind of a pick the guy you like, pick the flavor of the month. Where Gross Matos, like we said, he's got talent, a little bit raw, but I think that's a guy that if you can get to the quarterback, that's what they need to do.
All right. Jay, you're on the clock with Seattle Seahawks, your favorite coach in football.
Oh, jeez. This guy. All right.
Are you going to go protect Russell Wilson here?
No. I'm not.
Once again.
What?
No, just like Seattle in general. Like, just can't get the guy some help.
Yeah. Well,
running for his life.
A lot of offensive tackles went earlier. I'm trying to see out there who I like. But I think at this time, they also need defense, and it's time to stop overthinking it because you have to go rely more on the college film that you see. And I do think it's time to take AJ Epinesa.
Oh.
There you have it. Right. You are on the clock, Vasco, with Baltimore Ravens.
All right. Well, Baltimore, good news for them. I feel like this is a steal at this point. Had yet to replace E.J. Mosley. We need a linebacker there. Patrick Queen.
Yep.
Ideal position. Great spot for him. Great, piece for that plugging there. So I think he's for Baltimore. I'd be shocked if they didn't take him. Even if there are some more tackles available, I feel like he's the guy to kind of step in there and replace it for them.
Yeah, I had him going to them in my mock draft as well.
Who's going where?
Patrick Queen to the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Tennessee is next. Who has that division, Jay?
Me. We're going to go defense, even though we need an offensive tackle also. But we are defense. We're going with Auburn's defensive end, Marlon Davidson.
Marlon Davidson.
Okay. All right. And then, Jay, you're up again with Green Bay.
No, I'm not.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Who's got that? Vasco, you got the number?
Rosso.
Vasso, sorry. My bad.
I think Green Bay would have ran to pick Patrick Queen.
I'm done for the draft.
Yeah, you're done. You don't have to hang up.
But they got Blake Martinez, so it's not a total loss.
No, they let him go.
Oh, they did? Where's
is that
right?
I don't think he's there anymore. I don't think he's there. I'm pretty sure I just read that. So to me, you got two options.
He's for the Giants. Gee, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
that. Dang,
You got
all right.
two options here. You either get a weapon for Rodgers in the pass game, or you protect him up front. So to me, it's down to Ezra Cleveland or Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Mims, the next tier of
Do
receivers.
you not think that they would consider Zach Bond from Wisconsin? He's just not to the tier.
He's in there. I don't know if they. I don't know. They got Sandarius Smith who can get to the quarterback from the edge. They don't need as much edge solidification. They got They got Kenny Clark, who's also good up front. So the defensive front.
Their line is good.
Yeah. Their cornerbacks aren't that good. Zaire Alexander is fine, but Kevin King and Josh Jackson obviously haven't been very good.
Yeah.
I don't think they can afford to not go offense. They really struggled to protect against the Niners. I think that receiver class is deep enough where the Packers could get it one further on. I don't know if the tackles are, so I'm going to go Ezra Cleveland from Boise.
That's not a bad pick at all.
That's San Fran, Jay, for you.
Yeah. We're gonna.
They're not going to hurt all the time, so.
We're going to go defense. We're going to go Trevon Diggs, cornerback, Alabama. Cornerback.
All right. So the last pick, Dallas had traded with Kansas City. They're second and a fifth. Dallas wanted to get this guy, and they didn't want it. And that's why they made this trade. They did not want this guy to slip past 51. I think he's rated 38th overall. So that's why they traded up to get him. It's the center out of Michigan, Cesar Ruiz. They have to replace Travis Frederick. This is the best center in the draft. So I think that's what they're doing. That's why they make that move. They have, like I said, right now they had the 51st pick. They could let that guy slide and take Cushberry from LSU at center, but he's just about that much behind Ruiz when it comes to talent. He's rated about.
What about McKinney there?
Well, that's the other thing. If I felt that they could, Cushberry in the third round, if they think they can still get Cushberry in the third round at 82, then they for sure take Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney's first round talent. But sometimes the thing with the Cowboys, and we've seen it throughout the last few years, they're not afraid to draft O-linemen late in the first round or in the first round period. So, like I said, if they think they can get either one of those guys late, or they can make a move to get late, yeah, and they can trade up for that to get McKinney to bolster that secondary. They're good there. As for defensive edge rushers, I think you guys took all the good ones. I think there's not really anybody left to rush the passer.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah,
Dallas is
Jay,
there.
Jay took Epi. You know, if Panessa is available there, you know, I mean, they're taking that. But yeah.
Yeah, man. There's
the draft, the way it fell with them getting Henderson at corner. They got Ha Dix at safety, but they do want to build some depth there in the back in the secondary. So yeah, McKinney wouldn't be a bad spot, but I just think they made that move to make sure they got the center they wanted and to keep Dak safe and keep making holes for Zeke. So that's my thought.
How many trades do we have?
I did one for Dallas up, and then I did one for the Raiders up.
So we had four, didn't we? We had four, yeah.
Because I had one with Rosso and one with Jay.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds about right.
I don't think we're out of line. I mean,
so not bad.
I did a homer trade with the Cowboys, but I think that's what they should do. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I was tempted to bring the Steelers into the first round somehow, but there's no way they're gonna do it. So I'd be shocked if they did.
Yeah, sometimes
went a little low than probably projected, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, this went pretty well today. If you remember how to do this again, we should do this some other time.
I'll remember. We'll get it better. We've done things. Hey, who did you take for the Packers again, Rosso, at 30?
Ezra Cleveland.
Okay. No wide. What's he? Not a wide receiver?
Offensive tackle, Boise State.
Another O-line.
They were asking on the Facebook thread, and I didn't think you took one. So, yeah, it was fun.
So I'll email it over for you to post here, but best available right now before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
What do you think for best available?
Grant Delpit. I was surprised.
Yeah, Delpit. Yeah, absolutely. Delpit was a solid pick there.
I actually think Zach Vaughn.
Vaughn, okay. Yep. Swift.
Christian Fulton. Nobody took T. Higgins.
Maybe Taylor. Nope, T. Higgins is there. Yeah. And you'd probably say Jonathan Taylor will go early second round. Maybe he'll last to the mid-second round, but
yeah, he's going somewhere. I still feel he's going to Miami.
There's a lot of rumors that he's going to
have for second round picks.
Yeah.
Who's the so if we're going, you think Bond up top then, Vasco? Like I'm on 5 names. So right now I got 4 written down.
I would say
McKinney,
Delpit
Bond,
is the best available.
T. Higgins, DeAndre Swift. Delpit.
Did anybody take Trayvon Diggs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They took him with.
Yeah.
Forget who.
Yes.
San Fran. Yeah. But no, I think Delpit's got to be in that top 5, and couple you mentioned, Adam sounds right. So
Higgins or Ayuk for the next receiver.
Probably Higgins. I think Higgins should go there because he was a first rounder. I mean, a lot of people thought he might go first round depending on who takes how many receivers. But right there,
they're basically 6 of one, half dozen of the other, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's
you can really go wrong. But I mean, McKinney would be there too, right?
Hey, I got something to play for you guys. I don't know. I know you guys aren't wheel watchers, and I tried to tell everybody on planet Earth how great Pat Sajak is as a human being. But I want you to listen to this. Come on. Why won't you play, you ding dong thing?
I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones is going to be talking to everybody at the NFL draft. Be like, hey, guys, I want to want to give you a little clip of the wheel I was watching today before we had this big draft. So.
Okay, are you making fun of me? Why can I not hear it?
The suspense is riveting.
Weird. Hold on a second. Come on, don't tell me. All right, hold on.
Nope. Higher. There you go. What is that?
I can't hear what he said. I can't hear.
All right, let me play it over again.
No. What? Just tell the story.
All right, watch this. Hold on. No, you didn't. You guys can't get it.
I don't hear anything.
All right, so this chick doesn't guess the final, whatever the final clue is, and she goes, ah! She drops down, and Cat looks at her. The audience starts laughing, and he looks at the camera. He goes, I believe it's twins.
No.
He is a treasure.
He
is a treasure.
He's a goddamn treasure. We can cuss on this. I fucking love Pat Sajak.
All right, you're a treasure. All right, guys, thanks for doing this with me.
All right. No, I'll send it over. You can update it with I'll have a few names, and then we'll.
Send that to email that to me so we can post it and everything. Vasco, take care. It's good to see your face, man.
Yeah, you have fun down there. Hey, when this coronavirus is over, I'm gonna come down there because I missed your musk.
See you guys.
Absolutely, come on down anytime, man.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks again.